In this video, we will discuss standard form. Standard form is just a way of representing very small or large numbers in the form a certain number times a power of 10, where the power of 10 is an integer greater or equal to 0. Now, taking a look at the form, we can have the integers, positive or negative integers 1 to 9, and then we can have a decimal fraction 0.0005, for example. Now, this way of representing small or large numbers helps us to manage the number in a calculation. So dealing with 0.005 is a little cumbersome than dealing with 5 times 10 raised to the power minus 4, for instance. Now, how do we convert numbers to standard form? Let's learn from these 4 examples. First, we can see that this is a very large number, 50,000. What we do is we move the decimal point from the last significant number backwards. That is, if the number is larger than 1, we move it 1, 2, 3, 4 steps backwards, then leave the decimal point there. We can either leave it there or just write 5 times 10 raised to the power 4. The way to check our answer is to multiply these two numbers, and we should arrive at the original number. Now, in the case of a number which is less than 1, or which is a decimal fraction, we will shift the decimal point forward until we get a number that is greater than 1. In this case, we'll shift it 4 decimal places to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we leave it there. This time we multiply it by a negative power, showing that it is the number divided by a power of 10 or a fraction. Now, if the number is a single digit, we'll just multiply it by a power of 10, which is 0, because any number to the power 0 gives us 1, so it will give us the same number. Again, if we have a very large number which doesn't have trailing zeros, we will move the decimal point backwards, just as we did in the first example. So here are a few useful tips that we can use to convert numbers to standard form. First, we should take note that if the number is larger than 1, as in the first example and the fourth example, we will shift the decimal point from the right to the left, and then the power of 10 will be positive. In the case of a number which is a decimal fraction or smaller than 1, we will shift the decimal point from left to right, and the power of 10 will be negative. Now, how do we convert a number from a standard form back to the original number? We will simply reverse the steps we used in converting the number to standard form. Let's use the latter number as an example. So we converted 52345 into 5.2345 times 10 raised to the power 4. So all we need to do is to reverse the process. So we will shift the decimal point forward the same number of times as the power of 10. So in this case, we shift 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then we'll get the same number.